I'm going to be continuing on with chapter 2 from Jesus, the Law of Recovery from Dr. Olu Lawrence. And I do have permission to share his book with you. So, chapter 2. Chapter 1 was all about how Jesus is the game changer. Chapter 2 is going to be wonderful transformations. And here for chapter 2, I have Bagheera. He'll be joining us. He'll be in and out. So chapter 2, wonderful transformations. There are lots of people in history whose cases almost made them and their loved ones to conclude that there is no hope whatsoever. Thank God that in spite of obstacles and challenges, a good number of these people bounced back and came up with a new twist to the entire story. There is no reason to give up when you are surrounded by a scenario where there is total hopelessness. Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. He is able to change situations and transform problems that people have struggled with for a very long time into instant miracles. Great stories. The true stories of the following people will surely encourage those who are almost at the brink of giving up. Their situation started at a very hopeless state. But somehow, things changed and they made it. The first story is that of a woman who won an Academy Award. At age 1.5, Marlene Martin became deaf. Experts told her parents to place her in a specialized school for the deaf for her education. But the parents acted differently. They sent her to a public school. Little Marlee was able to make adjustments and she adapted. She grew up and became an actress and even received an Academy Award. In spite of her setback, she became a celebrity. Against all odds. Let me share with you the story of an amazing motivational speaker. Nick, I don't know how to pronounce this last name. It's spelled Vujicic. Vujicic. Good luck if you know how to pronounce it. I don't. Sorry, doctor. Don't know how to pronounce that. When he was born, Nick was armless and had no legs. It was as if life was hopeless at that time. But through it all, he managed to receive a degree in economics, got married, and had 2 children. His mother encouraged him when he was young to go ahead and play with normal children. Because as far as she was concerned, he was a normal child. She told him that he was normal, but that he only had a few missing parts of his body. Nick succeeded in writing books, singing, and playing golf. He has continued to travel around the world, motivating young people and challenging them that they have a reason for living. People who listen to him are amazed at the fact that he is doing what normal people do. They are thus challenged to develop their talents and abilities. A notable scientist. The story of a notable scientist reveals that there is no condition that cannot be recovered. No matter what is happening at the moment, no matter the degree of complexity and the hopelessness that appears on the horizon, you can experience the type of visitation that will rewrite the script of your life and change your story. Stephen Hawking had a strange attack when he was young. As a little child, he became completely paralyzed. When efforts were made to recover him from that condition, he lost his ability to speak through throat surgery. Here was a man who was paralyzed and at the same time could not speak. This did not deter Stephen Hawking. He decided to go to school and become a world-class scholar. In spite of adversity, he rose to become one of the most influential physicists. The disease that almost ravaged his life became his stepping stone to success. He was able to get married and raise three children. Today, the name Stephen Hawking rings a bell. He is one of the most eminent scientists the world has ever produced. What if he had given up and decided that the fact that he was paralyzed and could not utter a word would cripple him permanently? He fought a great battle, and he has been an inspiration to the entire world, and he has come up with lots of contributions in the world of science. Once ridiculed. You can experience recovery no matter what your condition looks like today. A young child, Frida, Khalo, Kahlo, again, sorry if I'm not pronouncing it correctly, who became a prominent Mexican artist, noted for extraordinary paintings, had serious setbacks at the beginning of life. At the age of 6, she became seriously ill with polio, which made one of the legs thinner than the other. The size of the legs was ridiculously noticed by her classmates, who nicknamed her Peg Leg Frida. In spite of the paintings and the booing of her classmates, she summoned up courage and took part in swimming, dancing, football, and boxing. As if the initial accident was not enough, as a teenager, Frida had a serious car accident which resulted in a serious injury and terrible pain in her spine until the end of her life. After the accident, she could not get out of bed for several months. But during the period, she kept on painting and coming up with creative artworks. Today, the works of Frida Kahlo sells for millions of dollars. What if the setback she had made had caused her to commit suicide? Her works would not be earning billions of dollars till date. Makes us think many, many setbacks, many things, and how we give up. But when we hear stuff like this, we don't have an excuse. The blind achiever. Let me share the story of another prominent man who lost his sight before age 7. In fact, he was completely blind. Ray Charles rose from his setback and has become noted as a legendary American musician who received 12 Grammy Awards. Tragedy struck later when, at age 15, Ray Charles' mother died suddenly. The sudden death of his mother was a great trauma for Ray Charles. For several days, he could not eat, sleep, or even speak. It was a situation that took him to the deepest depths of depression. In fact, at a point, he was nursing the fear of becoming blind. But by the time he survived the devastating depression, it dawned on him that having gone through that kind of tragedy, he would simply handle anything in life. At age 17, he started recording albums. Today, though dead, the works of Ray Charles are included in the International Library of Congress. In 2004, after his death, a magazine named Ray Charles as number 10 in the top 100 greatest artists of all time. This was a man who was totally blind at age 7 and lost his mother in tragic circumstances. Yet, his name has remained prominent in the history of mankind. There is nothing that should hold you back, because you can rise up and make it. When you connect with the key of recovery, God will turn your hopeless conditions around. A great writer. Let me share another motivational and powerful story with you. At the age of 1.5 years, Helen Keller lost her sight and she could no longer hear. But this did not stop her from coming up with aspirations to become great in life. She decided that she would be a writer. Today, several books and over 400 articles have been published under her name. In fact, she became the first deaf and blind person in the world to receive a Bachelor of Arts degree. Helen Keller, though deaf and blind from infancy, has achieved great success. She has therefore become an example to those who are going through hard conditions in life. Through her story, such people have been coming up with courage and hope. One of her favorite statements is quoted: "When one door of happiness closes, another opens. But often we look so long at the closed door that we do not see the one which has been opened unto us." This great woman did not allow being deaf and blind to stop her dreams. What is your own condition? You can achieve your dreams. All you need is a connection with Jesus, the key to recovery. You will make it. An encouraging story. We need recovery in various areas of life. I want to share with you another amazing story to encourage you. This story will definitely remind you of the fact that no matter how hopeless any condition is, you can experience amazing recovery. God can so visit you, transform your situation, and make everyone around you to begin to doubt if you, at any point in life, had problems or challenges. Ludwig van Beethoven has remained a powerful influence as composer and great icon in the area of music or orchestra. At age 26, tragedy hit Ludwig. He began to lose his hearing. This problem did not stop him from composing. At a point, he could no longer hear a single word. That was when he wrote the Moonlight Sonata. In spite of being totally deaf, he was able to compose great music, including Symphony Number 9. By the time he personally conducted the concert, the performance was hailed as an unprecedented achievement. When Ludwig was hailed, he started crying. He came up with this powerful statement: "There are no barriers for a person with talent and love towards work." Today, his name remains indelible in the realm of music. An amazing recovery. What about Albert Einstein, a great, powerful influence in world history? He also had his own fair share of setbacks. When he was a small child, he experienced a problem that would have made anyone to conclude that he would never make it. Einstein was born with an inability to speak. In fact, he did not speak until age 3. Then he suffered autism and was dyslexic. When he was in high school, the condition was so bad that he often skipped classes. In fact, he could not graduate. When his parents had given up hope on him, Einstein personally prepared for an English test on his own. He passed and was able to gain a place at the Polytechnic. Albert Einstein has become and has remained a great name in history. One of his favorite quotes is this: "Everybody is a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will spend its whole life believing that it is stupid." If Albert Einstein could make it, you can make it too. No matter the setbacks and problems you are going through right now, you can experience an amazing recovery and bounce back as one of the greatest people who ever lived. I hope that encourages you. That ends the reading of chapter 2. I have another video with chapter 1. And again, this is coming from the book of Jesus, The Law of Recovery by Dr. Olu Lawrence. This book has, I believe, has 10 chapters in it. So I will see you for the reading of chapter 3. Blessings.